Folks, what the crap's going on? The Salt Dragon is back, yes. Here is the Grand Cathay campaign that you've been waiting for, at least hopefully you've been waiting for. I know I've been excited to play some more of it. It's cold and sleeting outside, like the roads are filling with ice, but things are hot and spicy in this campaign, as you can see here, because we got a lot of vampires incoming and a good opportunity to kill them. So basically the Caravan of Roses is attacking us, and we're going to be defending what appears to be hilly light forest. Taking a look at the map here, this does not seem terribly concerning. It'll be interesting to see where my reinforcements show that they're going to come from. We're going to have a total of 4 rocket battalions backing us up, 5 crane gunners in total, and it looks like 5 elite crossbows and a lot of halberds. So assuming we can get all of our reinforcements together in time, mine arrived quicker than theirs, we should be able to cause some pretty tremendous damage. We'll need to watch out for critical units such as Hex Wraiths, the Black Coach. These units could all be dangerous. You can see the Hex Wraiths actually do have a barrier, so do the Cairn Wraiths there. So again, things that we'll want to watch out for. There's a lot of dangerous units here. However, I think we can hold our own, so let's go see. Alright, the battle's getting underway here. We've got a fast mover running up on us quickly here. It's like a vampire hero. It's going to go down in a hail of fire. I need to get my artillery focused on some targets, so I'm going to take them and start spreading some pain across the battlefield. Yeah, probably here. So I've got my rockets going to open fire. I'm going to check on my crane gunners. Need to move their unit cards over here. Let's get some focused fire. I do have 5 units of them, so we should be able to cause substantial damage. Alright, we got a Blood Knight inbound. I'm gonna let my elite crossbows work on shredding those. So basically, we've got halberds backed up by SEMs, other units. Sorry, there's a lot going on. It's going to actually be pretty hard for me to even be talking here. Really want to be shooting that guy, but he's probably too close to me to really focus out, so I'll just pick a different target and unleash there. Okay, we pretty much wrecked that. Let's cease. Okay, we've got a big threat rolling around my flank here. I need some heroes over here. So here comes a Black Coach. And I'm going to use this special ability here. And then I'm going to try and pin these guys in there.
Born of dragons.
So we've got a big vampire bunch back here. Okay, you all get after that coach. Then you all get into the rear of that fight.
In Shen Yong's name.
Okay, now I'm gonna need some more magic damage going on over there. Okay, alright, let's come back and check our front line. We do have some of our sentinels getting a little bit cooked at the moment.
With pride.
And let's see. I thought I had used this already, but we haven't, so I'm going to go ahead and drop it right there, try and help clean that fight up a little. I need these units to pay attention and respond. I need a Celestial Comet right here. I need this guy's back. Get back up inside of here, please. Let's get back over here. Got the lightning. Just going to keep dropping some pain here. Ward save on that unit. Get back into range, please. Alright, so there's a lot going on. We cleaned up the X-Wraith attack that came from behind us. And we got rid of the Black Coach there as well. We've got a rocket battery that needs to get back on. Some of my rockets have probably been causing friendly fire, because I haven't been able to keep as close an eye on them as I should. Really nice damage there. Let's head on over. Let's keep an eye on our abilities. Drop another comment. We gotta get this guy back to safety here. Okay, we got a Terrorgeist after one of our heroes here.
Kiss of the spirit dragon.
Trying to get that into the right spot. Come on, get out of there.
Crossbows.
I've got a Terracotta Sentinel that won't respond to any of my moves, and it's just getting absolutely gooned, and it's gonna get killed. Yeah, I can't move it at all, so it's gonna go down here, so we're gonna have to re-recruit that. That's irritating. Oh dang, now I just wasted that. Let's click a different one there, see if we can cancel that one. There we go. Okay, I need to pull back just a hair there. Let's get a secondary unit up here. Kind of help holding that. There's a lot of vampire reinforcements still rolling in. I'm gonna actually bring in even more reinforcements over here. Okay, let's see if we can get some focused magic through this area. And let's take the characters here. Got our Celestial Comet that's bound up. Drop that in right behind. We need to be dumping as much damage into this fight as we can. Let's go ahead and get this unit here back in. I thought that this Terrorgeist would be getting mobbed by 4 units, but they stopped attacking it for some reason. I mean, can we just, like, give it to this guy? Thanks. Okay, let's take a look at our rocket batteries. There's no relevant targets coming through at the moment. Our crane guns are probably a little bit wasted at the moment. Boy, it's a busy battle going on right now. Very, very busy battle. I haven't assassinated all the enemy leadership quite the way that I need to. Is that a chain lightning? I don't want a chain lightning or that. I want a Comet of Kazandora right there, please. Did my reinforcements arrive on station? Let's get after that black coach. Actually need to back up. Ooh, that was brutal. That was brutal. We just took a big chunk out of those guys. Gonna need more reinforcements here. Let's get focused. I see the entire enemy army starting to crumble after that comet. I'm gonna try and speed that process by taking out that Mortis engine. And now go after that leader. They've got just a few units left that haven't crumbled. And they've got a leader inbound here. Let's see if we can get this guy to crumble. These Crypt Horrors haven't crumbled. There, okay, there they go. Now we're getting like a general full crumble here. Not the best controlled battle on my part. I made a mistake with one of my Sentinels and got it killed. I was a little bit slow to react in a few spots, but I mean, overall, we're totally dispatching multiple vampire armies for, in my case, relatively low losses, all things considered. The magic that this army possessed was intense because I have 2 bound spells on that, what do you call it, the Wu Jing War Compass, which was just brutal, and then we had tons of magic, and the vampires are just very susceptible to all that. Alright, that should take a lot of powerful units out of play for the Caravan of Blue Roses. So that's an excellent result for us, a ton of loot. So we were already very wealthy, and now we're wealthier still. We're going to send the caravan packing with heavy losses, and then we'll see where we stand at the end of this next turn, because we do still have plenty of threats across Grand Cathay. We are not out of the dark, but many of you were commenting saying that I did a good job clawing back from the brink. It does feel that way in some ways, right? It feels like, generally speaking, that the last few turns have been good for us. There has been some downsides, like what you all saw with Miao Ying's army. That was not good. That was definitely not what we needed. Jingpo. We need to pressure the rest of these Skaven units. I just don't have much available to me as Miao Ying without going into a long-term global recruitment pool, and I really would rather not be doing that. But I'm not sure that they're leaving me with a lot of good choices here either, in terms of what's available on the time frame that I want it. Some cannons, honestly, would be helpful for Miao Ying's army right now. Do I wait 2 more turns, or do I just go after the Skaven? I can't remember if everything they have left... I think pretty much everything that they got left is, like, garbage units.
The Emperor's
I'm not 100% certain on that, but I'm pretty sure. Northern Provinces, Jade Wind Mountain... This is Forest of the Moon, Jade Wind Mountain, so that technically belongs to that settlement there. Okay, so if I take Miao Ying closer to the doorstep of the Skaven,
Footsteps in harmony.
what do we see here? Okay, a crap army, and then the remnants of their only good army. So that's good, we got some intel there. The crap army I'm highly unconcerned with, and I want to keep the pressure on here. I'm going to go ahead and just recruit more units into this army. For Miao Ying, we'll put better units in there soon. And I'm going to try and keep the pressure up here as well. So it's going to keep our recruitment or our replenishment pretty low, but I'm going to keep pressure on the Skaven. Try and catch them or force them into bad positions. Alright, so Skaven handled for the moment. The greenskins were handled pretty well. We pulled these war elephants in, so I'm pretty excited to see those. Those are going to help against the greenskins. These 2 armies need to be working together. And honestly, they're in a pretty good position to continually ward off the greenskin invasions. If the greenskins come and siege Shenyang, we're within relatively close to reinforcement range. I think the only difference I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull this army out of the settlement and put them into an encampment, and then move this army into the settlement in order to speed the process of their healing. And then we want to probably get these 2 armies some better units. This one does not have great units. Fortunately, those war elephants are good, and if the 2 work together, that will certainly be a factor in keeping us safer. I'm just trying to think what else we would want to throw in here. It's going to be a couple of turns before these armies are really ready to move out. And when I think, okay, I look at this army, what is it we need to help, you know, buoy this up? We've got a decent bit of infantry between the 2, enough to guard a missile line at least. We have a lot of SEMs because of the war elephants. We have decent range because of the crane guns, and pretty good range, honestly, in fact, because of the what do you call it, the rockets. I'm kind of thinking about putting some... Like, if we put a couple of cannons in here, that would help. Like, to pound down greenskin cavalry or artillery or rogue idols, stuff like that we're going to run into. And it's faster to recruit than the lance battery and has longer range. The lance battery is kind of cool, but I've had mixed results with it in combat so far, so I'm not blown away by it. If I get those 2 things, what else would make sense? Like maybe pull like a unit of tigers just to get some speed, and then throw in like a unit of swordsmen just to add a little more infantry depth here. That'll work. Again, it's not a beautiful army mix there that we've got. Oh my vampires. Holy cow. It's like we did nothing to them on this last turn. I mean, we did. We beat them badly. But they are still sitting over there with a considerable force. Wow. We do not want them to get through our territory here.
Never.
They have Skaven units in the vampire army? Oh no, that's terrifying. We don't want to see much more of that. Like, especially if I start seeing vampires show up with rattling guns or something. That would be a problem. I think what I'm going to do here is kind of swap armies for the moment, and that would give these guys a couple of turns of respite, probably. to rest from the vampire threat. These guys are very well equipped to face a vampire threat. Yeah, very well equipped to take on a vampire threat. Speaking of vampires, there's even more of them up there. Look at that. I just took out like 3 stacks. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's tiny. 5, 6, 7, 8. So, and we just took out 3, so that's like 11 stacks of vampires to give you all an idea of just how many enemies we could potentially face, right? Because I keep telling you, like, yeah, it feels like we're doing better. It feels like we're fighting back, but we don't know what's beyond the fog of war. And I mean, if we have to put a, you know, there's a, what do you call it? When you see a trend long enough, it almost becomes a rule. And in this case, like, how often is it that I end up being wrong about the AI having no armies versus them having like 2 or 3 extra armies that I can't see just beyond what we can see in the visible like part of the map, right? Just out in the fog of war is usually where the AI always has more armies than what I anticipate. What I'm trying to get at. So I'm assuming that that's still the case. So like if I can see 7 vampire armies right here, there's probably 3 more right over here or within movement range. And I can't see any Greenskin armies here, which means there's probably like 5 of them up in the mountains right there that we're about to be facing. So I tend to kind of look at this with a skeptical lens, so to speak. All right, so Gotrek and Felix showed up at the Turtle Gate, and that will be good because they can help hold it down. Archaon's outside the gate, and he's probably going to be probing for a weak spot. I don't think he's going to find it. The Red Fortress is a pretty good bastion there too, although it could fall. But the gates are going to be incredibly strong at this point. And I have a full army in one of them. And then I've got Gotrek and Felix here. And Gotrek is a force to be reckoned with in terms of having, you know, to try and cut him down. And then I've also got these Terracotta Sentinels in this army already, which, again, is going to make him dangerous. People were pointing out that it was actually a Tier 5 Alchemist Tower building that gives me more local and global recruiting. So thank you for pointing that out. I will try to put that to use going forward here soon, so I do appreciate that. The upkeep's only going to be 66 for Celestial Dragon Guard because we're inside the bastion, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we've got more troops coming in where we need them. We're rebuilding in areas where we were hit hard by the Skaven nonsense. I have a ton of money. I said as soon as I'm safe, I'm going to spend all of this money, and we do need to. Good. Someone said in the south we should be building defenses down here, and they're probably right, because the Wood Elves could come pouring out of the forest at near any time. So let's go ahead and do some upgrades back in this vicinity. Might not hurt to have a little bit of recruiting back here, just in case. Alright, what else do we got over here? Yeah, we should probably build that at Chaimai. This will probably encourage the Skaven to come invade now that I'm spending money back here. Same thing, make sure we got a little bit of... Well, I mean, I probably don't need recruiting here right now. What we could do is put in a Yin income building and then a Yang income building. We're 2 turns away from finishing some research, which is probably going to put us off balance, but then we can counterbalance it. But we've done a pretty good job at staying in balance. Okay, let's get back down here. There's more things I wanted to do, so we need to work on the upgrades here. We need Eastern Fires on this army.
Celestial ancestors.
And we'll finish that right there. So now our crane guns and artillery are going to be souped up in order to get more damage. I need to head towards... Is this in the same province as Hanyuport? It is, and so I can recruit locally a Terracotta Sentinel with this army.
Child of the
The Greenskids could very soon come pouring through this pass, and I'll have one army over here to deal with them. Otherwise, I kind of think that I'm going to fall back to like right here, and then move up one of those armies. and put these waiting in an ambush right here. Basically, I'm going to try and create another vampire trap right here, where it looks like I have one army present, and there's actually multiple. So we're going to continue to try and create what looks like a favorable situation to the vampires, and hopefully be able to take advantage of that situation. Okay. We spent a decent chunk of money on this turn. We've got armies that haven't been moved. That's not the end of the world. They're guarding where I need them to be, so we're going to ignore that. It says we have more buildings available. Indeed we do, and I think I'm going to go ahead and put the defenses in there, and I think I'm going to go ahead and build this as well, just because I'm sitting on a lot of money. It says more building upgrades available, terracotta graveyard. I mean, again, in recent experience, probably isn't going to hurt to go ahead and spend a little cash on these. Let's get us a little more trade, make sure we can recruit, grab a little more income, better artillery. Okay, let's call that good, because I've been sitting on a lot of money. That'll put some of that investment to work. I'll go ahead and nest egg for a little while longer. If it feels like we're going to put the Skaven in the dirt on the next few turns, which I think we will, then I'll go ahead and probably spend away with even more of that money. But those were some nice upgrades we just made there. Okay, I kind of expected this, the Skaven to take their armies because they see me coming. And so what they're going to do is move to what they think the next soft target is. In this case, they've chosen Jadewind Mountain. They're going to win just by sheer numbers. Even though their armies are terrible, they're going to win. I mean, look how many kills it gave us there, too. That's not inaccurate. I mean, these Skaven armies are just gosh awful right now, but they did have the Deathmaster. He's a tough character. And again, with numbers, they probably do win that. The AI didn't seem to be like unfavorable to us with that auto-resolve. Looks like they just sacked that settlement, and now they're splitting up and going in opposite directions. So this is another good instance of how the AI can win a battle and totally lose the war. And I don't know how you change the programming on this. If you did change the programming, would people like it? I don't know, like with the AI actually behaving. But what they just did right there, taking all those losses just to sack one of my settlements, and then splitting up, now making all of those individually weak armies now even more weak, that is a horrible decision-making process for the AI. Does it annoy me that they raided my settlement? It sure does. We're at a Yang balance +2, probably because of that action against Jadewind Mountain. Yeah, because once we repair this one, it'll put me at +1. Then we may have had another building there. I don't know for sure. Okay, now look at the map here for the Skaven. It's not looking good, right? Any direction they go in, they're going to lose their next battle. So the Skaven are effectively finished at this point.
The Storm Dragon.
See, watch, I'm going to take away their settlement. So they lose a settlement here. So now they can't do any army building and replenishing from there. They're going to lose the Village of the Moon. Now, I don't believe they have any settlements.
Stand against evil.
And all they have is three or four very weak armies that are going to be faced with many settlements of mine that will be well guarded enough. Jadewind Mountain is not. Perhaps Kunlan is not because it was recently taken. Right? These things could be exemptions to the rule. I'm going to go ahead and tear that out because we no longer need that there. Yeah, I mean, pretty much any direction they decide to go at this point, there's going to be more garrison than they can handle. They're also taking attrition. So the Skaven are going to find themselves in a pretty pathetic place now. And very little way out of it. So what they'll do is they'll probably attack Jade Mountain on the next turn and take it because they desperately need a settlement. And then we'll just spend the next few turns kind of cleaning out the rest of their filth. So, should be pretty straightforward finishing of the Skaven here. I don't want to spend any... Actually, let's take that spend off at Jadewind Mountain because the Skaven are going to do that. We'll get ourselves back in balance as soon as we can there. It looks like Archaon did go ahead and siege the Turtle Gate. That seems a little foolish. If by a little foolish, I mean, you know, like downright suicidal.
Born to die.
Now it says we're going to lose this fight. We very well might, because Archaon's very strong. He's not a character to be underestimated. We'd have to sally out on this one. They do have a hell cannon, which indeed would be a major problem for us because the AI will get tremendous value out of said hell cannon. Let's decline the attack here
It's not time.
and think about our options. It says that we are going to start taking attrition. Let's take a look at the way this army can move. If I move out here, I end up taking attrition. There's another Chaos army behind there, but, I mean, again, it's probably not just going to walk right through these gates. I think all we're going to have to do to change our Kaon's mind here is to just move this army up behind the Turtle Gate to signal that there's reinforcements coming. Now, if we sally out, it says we're going to lose. If he attacks me in the settlement, something tells me it says we're going to win, or else he would have already, you know, auto-resolved that and just taken us, right? So the AI is probably expecting to lose there. We need that increased mobility. That might be handy right now, in fact.
There is merit in this.
So we've got reinforcements nearby. We can't quite get all the way up there to reinforce, but we're going to be able to kind of keep the pressure up there. We had another greenskin incursion come through, and it is the big man.
The dragon blooded.
If I wait one turn, I will get these cannons. However, if I move forward now, it's possible we could scare Grimgor back, but this also would give me an opportunity.
Commander of the Great City.
What is our... Yeah, we can't quite reach him on this turn. Scare him back, possibly, but I think we should just kind of let him in. If he destroys Shenyang, which he might on this turn, he could potentially wreck that settlement, depending on what his army looks like. Again, don't know for sure. But this would also give me a chance to see if anything follows him on the next turn. It would give me a chance to finish up getting these cannons. If he has, like, again, that Arachnarok spider is going to get wrecked on by the cannons. These boar boys get wrecked on by the cannons. So it's spider time there, even though it may give them a temporary hold on something that they didn't previously have.
Celestial ancestors.
We should have
I will
recruited
not
last turn
tolerate
here, so that
sloth.
was a miss on my part.
Service is every
All right.
Cathayan's duty. Shugengan Lord reporting.
Let's see. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and recruit here.
Serve and honor your
We could have more
ancestors.
troops come down that other way,
To serve me
because I'm a
is
little overloaded
privilege.
down towards here. But I mean, again, Hanyuport, pretty strong garrison. Some of these other settlements around, pretty strong. Kiang needs to rebuild its garrison. We're about to finish our research. Is our research going on? Okay, it's going to Yen, which that'll actually help the situation, which is currently Yang 3.
The celestial Miao Ying.
Which we will correct over the next couple turns. I don't want to overcorrect in the wrong direction here. It says Lord not moved. That's intentional. The vampires did not. They spotted my troops, but they didn't make any moves here.
Shaper of the Eight Winds.
Let's just do that again. I'm gonna ignore those Lord not moved.
I stand
And then we'll need to take care of our skill points, which in this case are gonna matter a whole heck of a lot because we've basically already upgraded everything. Garrison Lord, okay, that was intentional. Damage building. That's intentional. I know there's upgrades and outpost upgrades. Commandment we'll go ahead and place, and then we will place a commandment here as well, and end our turn. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully we can continue to put ourselves in a stronger position. We need to fix the balance issue. Getting rid of the Skaven will give me an opportunity to do that a little cleaner. Okay, here comes the Deathmaster. He's on his suicide attack because they have no settlement.
We must break their spirit.
The rest of the Skaven armies must have just moved on in other directions, so we will continue to pursue them. Yep, I can see one headed towards Zanshi, and the other one went north to Kunlan. They're taking attrition, and they're going to be getting ever more desperate. I'm hoping if we deal with the Skaven, I can now reallocate these other two armies to go put pressure on our enemies. We need one in the north up on the wall, and we need another to head west, probably. I'm going to pay that just to get a little extra leadership, might as well. So we're at Yang 2 now. Pusher discovered. Okay, so Archaon
Child
continued
of
the
the
siege
Nine.
here. He about to pay the
Dismantle
price.
them.
He's going to fall back off of that siege,
Dragon's blood runs through my veins.
which means I could pursue him now with this army and try and kill him.
This is not for the ever chosen.
His army's going to be tough. You have rockets to go after his hell cannon with.
Deny such action.
And I have Gotrek and a couple of sentinels to help deal with him.
Gotrek, Gurnishan.
I think we should go for Archaon.
Is it time?
Really be ideal if we could put him out of the fight here.
Where's the slaughter?
Witness
We
their
have him
demise.
caught. We've got an opportunity to put him under. So yeah, I'm looking at this. I don't love this for a couple reasons. One, that Hell Cannon is going to cause me tremendous damage. Two, Archaon is going to cause tremendous damage with his magic. And you can see here on his stats, he's basically unkillable. And the AI will also frequently just ignore. So like, you might say, well, Air, you can pin him with your sentinels. You can get him with Gotrek. He'll ignore it. He'll run away. And he'll just go after my units. What's going to happen here is that the Chaos has Archaon. This dude is on a chariot. So he's going to roll right through my lines and into my skirmishers and artillery. These guys are going to roll right through my line into my skirmishers and artillery. It's quite possible that the Swords of Chaos are going to do the same thing. That unit will not easily be killed because of its armor. And then I'm going to have to be protecting my flanks from all of these Warhounds. I'm going to have to deal with a Chain Lightning off of the Summoner's Rage. I'm going to have to deal with Bilious Thundergruff. All of this while trying to protect the few skirmishers I have. This is not going to work. The AI will never give me the engagements that I need to win this, and then Archaon's going to be practically unkillable. So we're going to have to retreat from this. This is not going to be a sound strategy. So I do very greedily want him dead
Shogungan Lord
in the here and now, but that is just not going to happen.
never flag.
So
never
I'm
falter.
going to have to fall back into
Naturally.
the gates and just use those to our advantage. So Archaon may switch and go for the Dragon Gate on this turn in. In fact, he very likely... Well, he can't because he won't reach it. So that's fine.
Celestial ancestors.
I'm going to go ahead and just start moving this army that direction because they're going to have to come back and guard that. So yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to really get Archaon right now. I would have loved to have gotten a chunk of him, but that's just not going to happen. Miao Ying, on the other hand, could potentially catch up with these Skaven. They are in an underground, so I don't think they can just flee. We might be able to catch and kill them here. If so, this will be worth it. They might be able to flee. Nope, they can't because they're underground. Alright, so that's what I was thinking, that underground they won't be able to just step away from us like they normally would in that situation. Alright, and that leaves one additional Skaven army over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to push and pressure them. I can now do the repairs at this settlement. That'll pull me back down to Yang 2. And let's take a look at what else we can do with our research. I mean, hero success rate is not something I'm... Armor-piercing missile damage increase would be pretty cool. Let's do that. It's going to be 5 turns in the making, but we can do it. I need to build defenses here too. I'll put that in the yen as well. So it's 2 yen on the way. Plus if we repair that one. So we'll probably go over just 1 on yen. Just fine. We'll fix it when the time comes again. Won't be a huge deal. Alright, Lord's not moved, so we've reset.
The Iron Dragon.
I thought I reset the ambushes there, so now we've reset the ambushes. We're 1 turn away from having our Sentinel back on hand.
Shogungan Lord reporting.
That's good news. It's so weird how Wujing War Compass and the Sentinels get tossed into the same boat in terms of unit benefits there on that red skill tree. It's an odd combination, to say the least. What else do I want to do here? Alert, logistician. I mean, probably just finish your aim.
It is mine by blood
Yeah, I
rights.
mean, that's got our crossbows and other units looking pretty deadly there. Can come down a little bit on these next few turns. Not a big deal. We've still got a lot of money in the bank, and if we win battles, then we're gonna get big points too, so. Repressibles.
I
Just
was
keep working
born
that.
to
Okay,
wield.
outposts, upgrades in this turn. We haven't had as many Skaven Undercities popping up, which is nice. Now that I said that, I'll probably have to like deal with like 10,000 gold worth of them on the next turn. Be just my luck. Alright, so hopefully we extinct Clan Eshin. They moved back the opposite direction, so we get an underway interception. I believe that's the end of Clan Eshin. Which means I now have additional armies that can be marched to my borders to help with defense. I honestly think that I may just take both of these to the wall in an attempt to shut down Archaon. Because I have 4 armies down in the south and west, and 2 more in the west. So that's a total of 6 armies in that direction. I probably need to allocate towards the wall. So, Eshin is destroyed. Krakatrak is destroyed, that's good, because that's another one of the factions that would have come alive because of these end time scenarios. We are back in balanced harmony. That's also excellent news.
As the forge is
Ah, the
marked.
vampires.
Wind Shaper.
Coming in hot over here. What are the chances we can pull that army down
Such a
alone?
thing is impossible.
There is merit in this.
It's looking pretty good. We could take those guys alone, I think.
Cease.
Natural authority.
Let's see if we can get rid of this army. Gotta be careful. We have pretty good visibility up there on what's behind them. Yeah, let's get rid of them.
Perfect harmony.
It's gonna give us a pretty clean win there.
As hot as dragon's fire.
We can't hunt them down all the way, or we could, but there's really no reason to get that risky. We can just come back down here and replenish. That army's now combat ineffective. We'll have to fall back and try and fix it, so that'll buy me a couple of turns anyway. They keep discovering these forces here. I'm not terribly surprised. They don't have a particularly high ambush success chance from this position. But at the same time, I'm not all that worried about it. This is just waiting. The AI will eventually make a mistake, and I'll make them pay. Okay, so
As hot
Grimgor just began raiding rather than moving further
Lord reporting.
into our territory, which is an odd choice
Power
indeed.
in the blood.
We can reach him with this army. Then I would have a reinforcing army as well that can technically reach him as well. I imagine he's going to flee back from this.
I will be obeyed.
Yep.
Kiss of burning.
Now Greenskins can go underground, but he's
City command.
kind of trapped between a rock and a hard place here. Unless he heads back up the road, I can't totally cut him
Offspring
off
of dragons.
up that road. If I could, that'd be nice, because then he'd be stuck where he either has to come siege my city and get stuck there, or get caught by my armies. So this is an interesting position that we've put him in. So hopefully we can get a chunk of Grimgor right here
The
as well.
dragon
There's another
flooded.
vampire army that went north there. The Greenskins, they feel like they're coming at me slower than what they were earlier. So I feel like we've hurt them. And then when I look at their lands, like I mean, just because I don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but I don't see like this big expansion of Grimgor's territory. He may be weak. He may be weak, and if we take him out here, we could be potentially sending him towards an early... Yeah, he's only got 3 settlements, so Grimgor is weak. The army he has now is pretty much what he's got left. I'm curious, who is strength rank number 1? The Caravan of Blue Roses, which is funny because I feel like that we've got a 1-up on them right now. Following them, it's Dwarves and the Heralds. So this is good news, because I feel like we can handle the Caravan of Blue Roses. As long as we continue to hold the line against Archaon, then we're fine. And he's continuing this idiot process of like, oh, hey, I don't want to fight both your armies, but when you attack me, I'm just going to fall back and then repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. This is incredibly annoying.
It is my calling.
So I guess I'm going to play the game as stupid here with him. Yeah, which does seem incredibly stupid. You know what we could do, just for one turn, is I'll put this army up in the gate, and I'll put this one down here and let them go ahead and recruit some units. There we go. And then that'll start to make more problems, because that army will just start to get stronger. They still haven't taken Bloodwind Keep? That's hilarious. That's right, this army failed to do so earlier. It looks like one of Archaon's lackeys is going to come and attempt to do it. Anyway, we're in good shape now. I'm going to send this army flying up towards the wall. Where do I have some good recruiting? Not at Wei Jin. Yeah, I have decent recruiting at some of the buildings along the walls, so let's just send Miao Ying that way. And then this army, I hope that the Skaven don't just get to keep spawning. One would think, surely not. Like, but it worries me that, you know, maybe if you haven't extincted all the Skaven factions, they can keep spawning. But like I said, surely it's not designed that way. That would be a terrible design. But it wouldn't be the first time that we ended up with a terrible design in the game. Go ahead and do this rally.
A tool worthy of a dragon.
Here, I think we are pretty much done for this episode then. So, say another episode with pretty solid results. No major losses here. The Caravan of Blue Roses, we're whittling away at them. We've got them in a position where they really can't do much to us. Grimgore is being whittled away at. Once that's done, I've got 2 more armies headed back to the north, so Archaon's now going to be facing 3 armies, which means that we probably can start to operate against him effectively. He is very hard to kill, and you all are going to see me being very leery of him. Again, between him and that Hell Cannon, that's probably like a 700 or 800 guaranteed kills. So it's a mess. Like, he's not easy to kill right now. You would definitely have to be able to protect your missiles, and with what I have in one army, not going to happen. So we definitely need more to challenge him with, and we will attempt to do so. I will see you all in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed it. HeirofCarthage, signing out.